TYT contributor Michael Shure interviewed on our next story here, interviewed some Trump supporters at a rally recently about a variety of subjects. And just again, to show you the mass delusion happening here, one of the subjects was the terrible attack on Paul Pelosi, the Speaker of the House's husband. And here is just a little sample of what they said about the Pelosi attack. I'm sure it's not unhinged at all.
We all know what happened to Speaker Pelosi's husband this weekend, but what do you think about what happened there?
It was a staged farce.
In what way?
Well, it just served a political purpose, and it seemed like something they would cook up, similar to Jesse Smollett.
It's you know what All-Star Wrestling is. You know, it's all that's another fake thing.
They tried to blame it on the Republicans, and we know that that's not the type of person that was.
Well, the reason I'm thinking it sounds fishy, that one point they go, oh, this guy, this big leftist or whatever, says he, has Mike Lindell, on his Facebook or some crazy thing. And I'm going, so does 99% of the country.
Say they think he has a friend, and they just got a little bit out of hand with whatever they were doing, and accident happened. He fell and hit his head.
So same old thing that happens in San Francisco. They just let whoever do what they want to do, as long as they're on a certain side of political party.
Anything can happen on TV, similar to All-Star Wrestling.
Thank you, Uncle Fester. It's great to have such a great report from people that look like they just came out from under a bridge, and people often wearing absurd hats. How do people even take themselves seriously when wearing a ridiculous Uncle Sam hat? Uncle Sam wouldn't be caught dead with that hat, and Uncle Sam's not a real person. You understand how absurd this is? You got these people talk, and Mike Lindell finally in a group of people where he belongs, just among a bunch of other idiots in the street talking about random things. 99% of Americans have Michael Lindell on their Facebook. They don't, and your pillows are terrible. It's frightening to see these people. Yasmin, do you ever get tired do you ever get surprised anymore by what these Trump supporters say?
No, but the 99% of Americans having Michael, that one did get me a little bit when I heard that one. It's sad. You can't blame people for not knowing what's real anymore. It's partially not their fault. I mean, you know what? I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it is hard to do sometimes. At some point, you have to say, this is ridiculous, and it's mean. It's really mean to equate something like a politician's husband being attacked by an intruder with a hammer and being like, oh, well, he just fell down. It's not real. It's all fake. It's basically just like, the WWF.
He fell into the hammer was basically
yeah.
That's like the old horrible abuser sentence. No, I fell into his fist. I mean, it's insane.
It happens, I guess. I guess it happens. Maybe it happens. I don't know. I don't think that's what happened this time, but
And they say, oh, Republicans.
Be sure about it.
There's no way to be sure. They say Republicans don't push for these kind of things. They're literally the only people pushing for political violence based upon total outright lies. And I do hear you, because it's a fine line. You, to some degree, feel bad for people that have been blindsided and hypnotized and brainwashed over the course now of decades by a party that lies to them, by their news networks that completely present false information. But it has real world consequences, and they don't even identify it as being from their side. Oh, what Republicans push this? You mean everyone on the what was the far right and now is the mainstream right, that does not condemn political violence, that does not condemn lies that lead to political violence. And these are the types of exact rumors that Nancy Pelosi herself recently spoke about being so harmful. Let's take a look at this clip.
Donald Trump, Elon Musk, others have spread stories casting doubt on what happened, fomenting conspiracy theories. What do you have to say to them?
It's really sad for the country. It's really sad for the country that people of that high visibility would separate themselves from the facts and the truth in such a blatant way. It's really sad, and it is traumatizing to those affected by it. They don't care about that, obviously.
They obviously don't. Pelosi's attacker was a man named David DePape. The statement from the police made clear that it was not a random example of crime. In fact, it was a politically motivated attack. You see the real winner right there from his DMV headshot. That's not even a headshot, it's a DMV photo. That's how the man looks when he had a chance to pose on a good day, getting a license. The actual motive for the attack was quite different than all the conspiracy theories. DePape stated that he was going to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her, the documents say. If Nancy were to tell DePape the truth, he would let her go. And if she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps. DePape would decide what was true and what was false. David DePape said that the reason he specifically wanted to break her knees was so she would then have to be wheeled into Congress, which would show other members of Congress there were consequences to actions. He went on to call Speaker Pelosi the leader of the pack of lies told by the Democratic Party. That's as reported by Raw Story. How insane and how dangerous, because literally they are being sold lies, and then they believe the purveyors of true facts are the liars, and they are wanting to send lessons into the halls of Congress. It's frightening. So let's once and for all go ahead and debunk all the rumors and all the lies. The Associated Press did a good job of taking down all these false claims about the attacks. Let's go through them right now. Claim that some have heard this was a domestic violence case in a consensual sexual relationship. The facts. Zero evidence has been presented to support that claim, which contradicts what law enforcement officials have said and what court documents describe. And how about claims of the attacker being nude or in his underwear? The claim, DePape was in his underwear when police arrived at the house. The facts. The FBI in its affidavit describes the alleged attacker as wearing shorts with pockets. False claims about the hammer. Claim both DePape and Pelosi were holding hammers when authorities arrived. The facts, the two men were struggling over a single hammer, police confirmed. I don't understand why the police were not able to neutralize this man faster. You got a hammer being struggled by an old man trying to get it away from an attacker. Get in there and neutralize the person. That's on them, but does not make it a conspiracy theory, just makes it bad policing. And finally, the false claims about the media fabricating his political background. Claim 2 far-right websites attributed to DePape were created the day of the attack and deleted the next day, proving a left-wing attempt to smear him. The facts, however, the websites existed before the attack and had entries dating back years, according to AP reporting. So you have facts. Will that change the mind of any deluded, far-right, QAnon, Trump-inspired follower that blindly parrots whatever these people that are trying to use them as zombie masses to go out and fight against our very country, to fight against our democracy? I don't think so, but all we can do is put the facts out there. Yasmin, what are your thoughts?
It's like what Nancy was saying. It is really sad for the country when our own leaders can't be trusted to be leaders, right? These so-called leaders are actually being led by the worst of their supporters, right? They're supporting all these conspiracy theories, or they're not denouncing them the way that they should be. And these leaders, instead, they're kowtowing and encouraging the idiocy that they're seeing from their supporters because it helps them to maintain and to control a solid base. And conversely, the Democrats are often called elitist because we expect intelligence, including emotional intelligence, from our leaders, and because we're critical of the candidates that are put before us. But personally, the idea that I can get a beer with my president or representative isn't as appealing to me as a president who's actually competent and good at their job. I don't need relatable leaders. I just need leaders who can speak the truth, who know what they're talking about, who don't kowtow to the worst of the nation, the worst that the nation has to offer. I just need someone to have some semblance of competency and empathy. I want empathy back. Why can't I say that word today? I want empathy.
Because it's missing from the country. It's disappearing.
I lost it. It's gone. It's gone forever.
Empathy's like that photo in Back to the Future where the family disappears. It's not even a thing we can say anymore.
It's leaving the realm of reality.
Yeah, sadly so. And it's just frightening. It's like, I don't mind a president I could have a beer with, but people think that's the only qualification.
Yeah.
They can be relatable, but also be somebody that is qualified and that is a kind, principled human, not just the guy that can drink you under the table. We've tried that too many times recently and it does not work well. What's most astounding to me is that after January 6th, it was the perfect chance for the Republican Party to save itself, to come back from the brink of extinction, from the brink of total ridiculousness and becoming a farce of the former party it once was, that my grandfather, my hero, was a member of. And they denounced him for a day, and then they all got scared and backed off, and it is their party now, which is why I don't think there's any legitimate reasoning to still support the Republican Party. You can support policies piecemeal if you need to, if you've been a lifelong Republican, but you can no longer elect these candidates that just show that they care more about power and money, even at the expense of the country itself.